Going live, but I've got no mic to
Put this bad boy in.
slide in now.
9 hours of. Do you want to
yeah.
Tweet it?
Yeah, we've got a link.
No. Or have we? Did it just say we're live?
Yeah, this is fucking live now.
Right, YouTube. Then make a cup of tea. Should I make a cup of tea? Whilst a few people come onto the live stream.
Yeah, make yourself one. I'm all right.
You sure?
Yeah.
What's happening, YouTube? We are going to be live streaming our episode today. It doesn't help if you're playing in the background as well.
Yeah, I've turned that shit off.
First time we don't have any technical support from Manchild, the producer.
On a jolly up in Southend.
Exactly, being that it's Easter Monday. So give me 2 seconds. I'm going to make a cup of tea. Get yourself settled. We're starting.
You might want to skip this bit. South London derby yesterday was good. Waiting for Surge's fucking stadium to be built. Do not get an agenda. Right, Ken? I can't see. I need glasses, not that I use them. I don't know if... Is that Simon? I don't know if that says this is sick or this is thick. I can't really see from here. Do not get an agenda. Oh, Ken, we've always got an agenda. Basically, we rock up with zero planning and talk bullshit. Oh, is that say slick, Simon? I can't really see, pal. Yeah, we'll talk about our shit fucking bench boost from the weekend if Suj ever returns. run through the games. We'll talk about a little bit at the end about me in Manchester last Wednesday and some non-FPL stuff like VAR. Happy Easter. I can't see that. Is that Lewis Whitson? Hey, mate. Happy Easter to you too. Happy Easter to all the followers. Have you registered for the live show yet? Importantly. Good morning, Dan. How are you, Spurs? I'm just talking to the odd people that pops up.
Nice.
I'm not going to be responding to that during the podcast. I can't read it.
Yeah, it's a little far away.
Far away.
We're not really set up for this stuff. Right. All I need is my mobile phone. The audio is set to record.
You have a podcast set.
Podcast is set up and recording.
What else would you do on a bank holiday morning, eh?
He's sleeping.
There's only one thing that's happened to me so far today, and it's my son pissed all over me.
My cup are quite far away.
Rein it in.
37 seconds in. Are we ready?
Probably not.
Right.
I've told him what the agenda is.
Oh, you have.
Yeah. Cool.
Right. All of you that have already tuned in, thank you very much. We'll get started with episode 58. Good?
I'm always good, mate.
Hello, listeners. Welcome to episode 58 of Planet #FPL, the world where everything revolves around Fantasy Premier League. My name's Suj.
My name is still James.
Still James. Why were you thinking about changing it to Varys?
I nearly died a few times over last Wednesday night, so
Oh dear.
still James.
We are recording on Easter Monday, Bank Holiday Monday. It's bright and early. By the time we started recording, what is it now? 9:30? Yeah, there we go. We decided to record our little mid-double game week episode as we did last time round, just to catch up on the games that have already happened and see where we're up to and how we feel about this double game week. So that when we get into our end of double game week show, we don't have to go through 15 games, 14 games, however many it would be.
Because from Thursday morning to Friday night, we simply
we have a very, very tight turnaround. I'm supposed to be on holiday this week off work, so I don't even know how we're going to record or when we're going to record, but we'll figure it out.
Oh, are you really?
Yeah.
You're not going to do that Dubai shit on me again?
No, I'm here. I'm in the country. So, there we go. 6 days until the marathon.
Of course.
6 days until the marathon. Very close to hitting my fundraising target. Thank you to, it's now 76 people that have donated. Doing well in the Haven House Marathon Mini League appeal and all the rest of it. 6 days into the marathon. The sooner we finish this episode, the sooner I can watch episode 2 of Game of Thrones. So we better get through this pretty damn quick.
I was going to say, YouTube streamers, can you message in some spoilers?
Also, for the first time, so we, being that it's a bank holiday Monday morning and the office is closed, we have no man-child and we have no Matt-child. So I've managed to set the mics up myself, which means something bad is going to happen.
Yeah.
And we've managed to get a YouTube live stream happening because we don't have a cameraman to actually film the episode. So the best thing we thought was to go live. I have no idea if that's going to work either.
It looks like it's working.
Yeah, there we go. So so we're live on YouTube. We're recording as we do. Anything else?
No, let's get into the weekend.
So tell me, how's your game week so far?
Amazing. Got 183 points.
That'd make you...
over the last 5 game weeks.
Yeah.
I'm on 46 minus 8
Ouch.
on the bench boosts thus far.
So that gives you a grand total of 38 points.
Well done. Your simple maths is still going well, mate. Yeah, so many unlucky numbers and shit as usual. What are you doing? So just put some earphones on just for the crack. I'll keep talking about my team. Captain Jimenez. Look, it's halfway stage. I know a lot of others have done that with obviously like Son, Aguero, etc. He's halfway stage. Don't worry about it too much. I made 3 transfers for a -8. Bins, Murray, and Knockout inevitably. Kept Duffy though, and I've been Deeney. I got in Andre Gray, Aguero, because I had loads of money spare, and I went Ward-Prowse. My scorers this week, other than Aguero assist, were all defensively. Duffy, Bolly, Robertson, and Laporte. It's halfway. I felt like I was unlucky about so much stuff. As I said to you on the way in, Ishida could have got a hat-trick at Newcastle.
Yeah, a defensive hat-trick is a rare thing.
Well, that's not going to happen. Obviously, you don't expect. But he had 3 good chances second half, and all would have been assisted by my other 2 Southampton players, Ward-Prowse and Redmond, which just one of them goes in, and it looks like a good start to the week. All my players that I've got started except Hugo.
Lloris.
Yeah.
Is he injured, or do you think he was just
So
rested?
he's got a muscle injury, is what Spurs tweeted just before kick-off. Didn't want to take a risk, just precautionary, and he could play tomorrow night.
There you go. So you're not particularly happy with your game week?
I'm not happy with anything that's happened in the last 6-7 game weeks, mate. It just keeps spiraling.
Current overall rank?
I'm at 80k now.
Wow.
So
there's every chance that we might just meet in the middle at 450,000 by the end of the season.
The way it's going, possibly. But I said to you, if Jimenez returns on Wednesday, I still think I'll get 100.
Yeah.
So let's wait and see. It's halfway.
Cool. I'm at 49 points so far, which I'm happy with based on that. I had 2 non-starters so far, Lloris and Valerie. I'm hoping Valerie will be back for their next game. I'm assuming Hugo's going to be back as well for their next game. Similar to you, all of my returns are defensive. Robertson, Laporte, Duffy and Ryan. The Brighton double up came in this time. A big haul for Ryan, 9-pointer, which was very nice. Other than that, 2s and 3s all round. Son, Jota, Sterling, Firmino, Jimenez, Rashford. Nothing.
Yeah, great. We're not alone. It seems like a lot of the Twitter community are going through similar. Those who seem to have had really good weeks seem to have landed on Delafeu.
Yeah.
We've seen a few caps in him.
For a lot of people, it was a choice of Delafeu or Gray. I mean, they play in different positions, but it was one or the other for the Watford attacking option, and it proves Delafeu was the one to go for.
Yeah, the feel was that yellow flag, wasn't it?
Yeah.
If you get anything out of him. I had a game and a half out of him in the last double on my free hit and got nothing out of him. So I was possibly a little bit more influenced than that, rather than those who probably better remember, obviously, the Cardiff fixture. Took the first goal, obviously, really well. Second goal probably should have been Decore's, but he finishes the rebound well. He's capable, Delafeu.
Oh, yeah, definitely a skillful player. A bit of a prima donna.
I'd go with that, but he goes through spells, isn't he, where you can definitely see the technical ability that he's got. He's a good dribbler, he's a good finisher, but it's his motivation, because with best respect to Watford, like when he's at it, he should be playing at a higher level.
Yeah, for sure. So we've had 9 games so far.
5 to go.
Starting with City Spurs. So let's get into some of the games. I know you also want to look at some of the teams that what you've called finished.
No, as in their game weeks finished. So some of the,
sure.
We've obviously spent
me,
we've had so much focus recently on the teams who've got doubles, like Watford, Southampton, Wolves, etc. There were some teams with some decent finishes, including Fulham, to be honest. So Suj is on his knees at the moment. Don't take that the wrong way, audio listeners. He's sorting something out with the volume. Is it all right, sir?
It is okay. Just filling with the level
for the podcast listeners.
Make sure that you're not like
this is what happens when you've got no man child.
Yeah, exactly. That's why we need the producer in the house.
Mate.
Where are you, man child? I tell you where man child's not. Hot on my heels, because he's got.
He's had a bad game week.
He didn't make any transfers and didn't play his bench boost, so he's pretty much.
I didn't bother telling him anything because his bench was so shit. I didn't see any point in him playing his bench.
No, exactly.
I think he's got about 12 points or something. It's something shocking.
Ouch. That's going to hurt.
What's he got?
Manchild at the moment. Manchild, the producer, is on 30 points, which isn't bad. 8 points behind you. If you factor in your hits.
Yeah, but he's only got about 4 more games.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more games.
Oh, he'll probably beat me then.
With Romelu Lukaku as captain.
Nice. What a guy.
Yes.
It's like a bouncy castle, Lukaku.
Right. First game up was Manchester City against your lot Spurs, which probably was a very weird kind of after the Lord Mayor's show kind of where I suppose from a Spurs point of view, you've got the big prize. So losing the points there, they would probably never expected anyway. So getting anything out of that game would have been a bonus, which was reinforced by Arsenal and Manchester United losing yesterday. So now it feels even more like, oh, well, it doesn't really matter. But that early goal from Phil Foden, this is just one of those that goes to kind of show the people that returned. Okay, Aguero got an assist, but Foden was the goal scorer. Kevin De Bruyne goes off injured, and no returns for any other City attacking assets. Clean sheet though, which I'll take.
Just on the first leg, we're going to talk about it. Sorry, the second leg of the Champions League game. We're going to talk about it at the end. There's a lot I want to say on it. On the league game, De Bruyne, I'm feeling a lot of pain for a lot of people out there who captains
KDB
and some triple captains.
Yeah.
And you're unlucky. You're unlucky.
Yeah, I mean, based on form, that was a good decision to make.
I think so. You would have played both games. I think it would have played to the end. The problem is...
The person you got to feel sorry for, mate, is Kevin De Bruyne. What a season.
Yeah, do you know what? When it happened, I was kind of... my feelings were in very... Because I was thinking, shit for FPL, but that was my third fault. My first thought was, that's good for Spurs.
Yeah.
My second thought was, oh, fuck, this poor guy again, seriously, because he's such a good player. And I've been quite strong in saying to people this week that... So she's filling my mic and it's right putting me off. Yeah. That I think he's the best midfielder in the world, but he isn't going to ever properly claim that title if he's not going to play football enough. And it's a massive blow for City going into this run-in. Interesting. I mean, we could have quite conceivably got something out of the game despite having very limited amount of possession. City very suspect to the counter-attack. Again, without Fernandinho starting, which he didn't play the Champions League game, and I found it bizarre that he came on in both games. So presumably he's fit. I found that bizarre because it just opened themselves up to the counter-attack without him. Son had him on toast in the first half. Scored 1 or 2. But that said, when you look at the games left, I don't see anyone hurting them in that area. Don't think... It's hard to say United can really trouble them on the counter-attack after what you saw yesterday, because if United play like that, it won't trouble them at all. Burnley and Brighton aren't going to play that way in the 2 away games that will trouble them. It's only then Leicester with Vardy in game week 37. You can't at the moment not see City winning at United on Wednesday after that yesterday.
Well, look, if City win United, do you think they're going to win the league? You had Liverpool down if they win their next...
Yeah, because I thought City... When I said I thought if Liverpool beat Chelsea, they'll win it, kind of envisaged that United would get something out of them, and I don't feel like that now.
No,
that has always been the game that we've all had ring for weeks, saying that could be the one where City slip up. The danger for United now is in terms of them trying to finish top 4, they need to win the game.
Yeah,
and that's going to open them up to the counter if they go for it like that. The outstanding performer for City at the weekend by distance was Bernardo Silva. But his attacking returns all season are not, we said last week,
they're not great.
No. In fact, they're not better than last season.
No.
There's a few more assists in there, I think.
No.
We think his price will go up, but I'd be cautious of that. He's playing so well at the moment, and that's obviously keeping Sane out of the team. I think the front 3, Silva, Sterling and Aguero will all start again at United. I don't see why that would change.
Interesting. Tell me about Spurs. You have Huddersfield tomorrow night at home.
I wish we did.
Who?
Brighton.
Brighton, sorry. Another team down in the bottom. Game of 36, which we want to talk about. So Brighton at home. First home game since you've qualified for the semi-finals of the Champions League under the lights midweek. Atmosphere should be rocking. I think when your place is rocking, it does spur the players on. So are you thinking what I'm thinking, which is thank God I've got something for tomorrow's game, smashing in a hat trick? You should be winning that comfortably.
The team selection on Saturday, when I saw the team, I didn't have a clue how we were going to line up. I could only work out from what it was that Foyt was going to play right wing back, which he did, and he did quite well actually. I have no idea again what the Spurs team will be Tuesday night. And then it's West Ham Saturday and then Ajax Tuesday. So you look at the fixtures and think, if you're going to rotate, probably this one. Son, importantly, is suspended for the first leg of the Champions League game. Son should be all right for tomorrow night and Saturday. And I see quite a few murmuring that he's the alternative captain to Liverpool assets this weekend. But he's definitely going to play. And I can understand that thinking. But trust me, they'll turn up and play the fucking game of their lives.
I'm looking forward to it. So
I wouldn't go down that route personally.
No. Let's move on from that game. I don't know what's going on here, but Bournemouth 0, Fulham 1. Fulham on a roll. It's like as if they still think they can save themselves. They know they're relegated, right? And I don't know what Bournemouth are doing either.
So kind of
home game against Fulham
a
blank.
Let's do Bournemouth first.
A home game against Fulham and a blank.
So quite a lot. For those who've followed the chunky chip strategy, quite a lot of us had to endure some pain watching what Bournemouth did to Brighton last week.
Yeah.
Having, for quite a lot of us, just sold Wilson, Fraser, et al. And quite a lot of the retorts were, well, this is why you shouldn't focus on a double because single game. No, listen, nobody thought Bournemouth were going to win fucking 5-0 at Brighton. Nobody thought Bournemouth were going to get beat by Fulham on Saturday. So I saw quite a lot of people going back in for like Wilson and the like, rather than the doubles. I'm not saying it was a mistake. Bournemouth, unfortunately, are massively frustrating and inconsistent. And the returns can come at any time with them.
Yeah.
I'm personally not looking at going back for them for the rest of the season. If I was in a position where I had 3 Liverpool players already, I would strongly be considering Fulham.
Silence.
Yeah, I can understand that. So we've just won the last 2, keeping clean sheets, which you don't do. So maybe Parker's starting to get a bit of a message.
Parker.
And they won both games fairly by the looks of it. I mean, I know Everton played badly when they went there.
They had 51% possession.
You see what Everton did yesterday.
17 shots. They always
and that's at Bournemouth team. At the weekend,
yeah,
is it?
Yeah.
So I think Mitrovic had the most shots again, I think, because he seems to do most game weeks to the penalty well. But when I say I'd be looking at Fulham, you look at the fixtures and go, so they've got Cardiff at home this weekend, Wolves away 37. Wolves have got a worse record against the bottom 6 than they have against the top 6, which is probably the league's biggest quirk of the season. And they finish with Newcastle at home, who are now factually safe. And Ryan Babel falls into that price bracket of if you just want to move a budget one, i.e. you want to get away from, I don't know, you've got like a double player, like a Ward-Prowse or something that you want to move away from. I think Ryan Babel with them fixtures is well worth a look for these last 3 game weeks. And quite often teams do get relegated and then the pressure's off and they play a bit. And the one thing you could always say about Fulham, try and play, right?
Yeah.
So even though they've got a target man in Mitrovic, they want to play with like freedom with people like Babel, Sessignon. I know Cairney missed the weekend, but should be back for this coming weekend. I think Ryan Babel is well worth a look.
What Huddersfield? Was no, not for me. And the reason is we've only got 3 game weeks left, which in theory is 3 free transfers. I don't want to be taking any hits between now and the end of the season. So we're straight up. I need to make a move to get one more Liverpool player in this game week. I'm going to try and skip my 37 transfer and make a move in 38 for 2 players. And Fulham are not one of the clubs I want to go.
So Babel's 5.5, 8 attacking returns in 12 games.
Yeah, it's decent.
In a shit team.
Yeah.
I'm just saying it's not one that I'm going to be looking at because I need to go into Liverpool this weekend. But I think, yeah, they're the sort of ones that we'd have obviously ignored, A, because of form and B, because they weren't in and around the 35 double. That, yeah, we should look at. I think a lot of people have had Ryan Babel and had plenty of success with that.
Huddersfield 1, Watford 2. Deulofeu, we spoke about Deulofeu previously being a good option.
The Watford clean sheet bust here was painful.
I mean, for who? I don't have any Watford defenders. I couldn't care less.
All right. It was painful for everyone who went in, and I think quite a lot.
Messina or Mariappa or whoever you had.
I was close to going another hit Duffy to Messina.
Yeah.
So obviously glad that I didn't. I think quite a lot would have had like a Foster or a Cathcart or a Mariappa or Messina or Femini. Within the community, I think quite a lot have gone into this double with a Watford defensive. So to lose the goal that late.
Any that you're looking at from Huddersfield? No, obviously. Watford?
No. Huddersfield, I mean, you go to Liverpool this weekend, mate.
They're going to get battered.
No. Watford's finish is Wolves at home, Chelsea away, West Ham at home. So I wouldn't panic to get rid of him. I mean, I think Foster is probably going to sit on the bench for the rest of the season for me following this double. We've got Gray as well. My understanding was that he didn't play very well. And there's probably every chance that he won't play the second in this double. And Isaac success will tear it up after all against Southampton tomorrow night.
Well, let's see.
But I've not got a lot to add on that from this game, unfortunately. Other than that, Colin Grant scored again. But, I mean, I feel bad for them, because they turn up every week. They seem to play all right every week. They get beat every week. Yeah. And that's not going to change. I mean, Liverpool against Huddersfield on Friday is as close to a certainty as you will ever see in a league game in this league.
Yeah.
He's 99%.
Have you seen the tweet that went out yesterday about the last 3 game weeks top point scorers? Vardy, followed by, was it Perez? Followed by...
probably after the weekend.
And this game week was Deulofeu. But whoever had been playing Huddersfield basically had been getting top points.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Some of Heskebo tweeted it out. Said, the top scorer. But my triple captain will be going on a Liverpool player. That's an absolute certainty. I don't know which one of the 3 attacking ones yet, but
one of them.
Yeah. I'll cover that after we do the game.
Cool. West Ham 2, Leicester 2.
Talk to me about this carpet.
This carpet is. I didn't go to the Everton game. Obviously, I was away, so I hadn't seen the carpet, but it was out then. It makes the pitch look smaller, as in with the green matting, it made it look like it was much further away. Now it's kind of a little bit more condensed. Let's say. I don't know why people keep getting on about it. The guy sitting behind me in the stands, it's like a running joke that he needs to keep talking about. Watch yourself on the carpet, mate. Don't mind the carpet. Wouldn't mind a bit of that carpet in my house. Everything to do with the carpet.
Was the game that good?
I don't know. It's just and so VAR can't flipping come quick enough for us.
This offside goal. That was a tough call. You've got one player running one way, Perez, and I think Maguire wasn't it? It was coming out the other way. That's a tough call when you've got runner against runner crossing like that.
But it was onside.
Yeah.
And VAR would have sorted it out.
We can do VAR at the end, mate.
Yeah, but then now you're talking. We had this situation with Liverpool earlier in the season. We had the situation with United last week, and now we've had this, and we would have won.
Yeah, we're going to do VAR at the end, mate.
You wouldn't be in the Champions League
semi-finals without VAR. Do you even want to finish 7th?
I have no idea at the moment. Very funny. I don't know why football should be a summer game, because going down to the ground in short sleeves when it's nice and sunny is so different to middle of winter and fucking woolly hat and scarf.
I prefer the cold, personally.
Do you?
Football's not for summer. It's for fucking wet and wind and cold, and that's what it's about, isn't it?
It was nice to get down. I thought, as all clubs have done this season, it was nice to be able to pay a tribute to Vichai and all that with Leicester, because it's still a horrible story.
Did you put something on?
Yeah, before the game they had it on the screen and everyone did their minutes of applause and all that. It was before the game started, about 10 minutes before the game started. But Leicester's fans were all in by then. It was the first half. Leicester were garbage, absolute rubbish. They didn't have. I pulled up the stats and it said Leicester had 2 shots on target in the first half. I can't even remember what they were, to be honest. I honestly felt they didn't have any attacking.
Maddison 2 long range.
They didn't have any attacking threat whatsoever. We were better. We controlled it. We created some chances, but we had that. It was that ominous. If we don't get something on the score sheet here, this is going to come back to bite us on the bum. A good goal by Antonio, but of all the West Ham assets that anyone owns, you've got Anderson's or Anatovich's out there. No one owns Noble and no one owns Antonio. But Antonio's really coming into some form. He's playing well at the moment. So going in half time was decent. Second half, Leicester were a different team. Played with much more intensity, kept the ball, put more pressure on, but they were still not like threatening. They did create chances, but they weren't really creating chances. Once they equalised, then it was kind of like we thought, okay, we better wake up here, and started creating chances and broke on them, and obviously scored again, and then you could just tell that they just kept knocking on the door, and we were just kind of and then that bloody equaliser. But overall, it wasn't the best game I've ever been to. And after when I was driving home, I was listening to the match summary, and the guy was like, "Yeah, it was an entertaining game. It wasn't that good. I'll be honest with you, it wasn't that good."
So you now finish with Spurs away this weekend.
Yeah,
Southampton at home and Watford away.
Yeah.
Can you recommend anyone to the listeners?
From West Ham, not really.
Can I just say, when we're saying recommend people, this is really difficult this week because we know everybody's hammering into Liverpool. We're going to work on the assumption that there's a few people out there who've got free Liverpool
already and have carried through. Not really.
No, Antonio?
He's too expensive, man. He's too expensive. Close to 7 million. They started the season at 7.
He has little spells, doesn't he?
He has. There was an article on the Premier League website yesterday or the day before I saw, and this was pure clutching at straws. Like, it was that Antonio is about to try and catch up with John Terry for the highest percentage of his goals scored with his head. Terry was like 44% or something, and this guy is trying to catch up. I was like, well, that is the weirdest statistic to try and pull out from somewhere. Percentage number of goals scored with your head.
I was watching Pointless Celebrities last night.
Yeah, this is the kind of thing that would come out, wouldn't it?
And one of the questions, I can't remember who it was that was on there. I mean, a Z-list celebrity. One of the questions at the end was name a Premier League player who scored up 100 Premier League goals. Obviously, you knew that if anybody's never seen Pointless, you need to find the most obscure answer.
Yeah.
But this guy, he has one guess it and he goes for John Terry. Do you not want to pick a forward player? Or is this all you can pick of? So I'm there going, Crouch, Defoe, etc. John Terry is what he came up with. Sorry, he did not score that
no way
goals.
Near 100 Premier League goals. It's 50 or 60.
I mean, no, John Terry was a great goal scoring defender. He didn't get that many.
No.
And Leicester,
I thought, but Harvey Barnes played well when he came on. Maddison was okay. Vardy, the thing we did that was good in the first half is when Leicester got the ball, we dropped deep. We 8 or 9 dropped deep, and there was no space to get in behind at all. We were very good at that, and that's where they had their luck. In the second half, they started to try and play it through a little bit. Maddison got on the ball a bit more. Harvey Barnes played well when he came on. I thought Damari Gray was okay when he got on the ball as well, but I wouldn't recommend them.
I played for Barnes to get the goals. Since he's broke back into the team following the West Brom loan, he's missed so many sitters. He's been due a goal, and he actually, his movement and the finish were really good. Yeah. Leicester now finish with Arsenal at home, which has now been moved to 12 o'clock on a Sunday. It was originally meant to be Monday night. And then it's City away, Chelsea at home.
Nothing there for me to see.
If you're a Vardy owner, do you keep? Because notoriously he does well in these fixtures, right?
He does, and there's no way that the big clubs that they play in the last two are going to sit deep the way we did to try and nullify them.
No, well, Arsenal.
So, true. So I'd keep Vardy if I had Vardy now, I'd keep him for sure, and he still scored, right?
But it's an easy move to Firmino, isn't it?
Yeah,
as it was all of last season.
Yeah, but I'd keep Vardy. If I owned Vardy right now, I wouldn't be going Vardy to Firmino. Look at Firmino's returns in the last 6 to 8, and look at Vardy's in the last 6 to 8. Comparison.
I looked into briefly Firmino's goals last night.
Yeah,
he's got 12 Premier League goals. It's okay. I mean, top scorer at the moment's got about 19, right?
Yeah.
Half of those goals are against other teams in the top 6.
Okay.
He's only scored 6 goals against teams.
He had a hat-trick earlier in the season.
It was against Arsenal.
Yeah.
Against Arsenal, he scored home and away against Spurs, and he scored at Man City. His other 6 goals come against sides outside the top 6. So half his goals in elite big games, if you will.
Yeah.
And half not. That's put me off. I'll come back onto Liverpool.
Wolves 0, Brighton 0. I thought Brighton were going to keep a clean sheet in this.
Did you?
Yeah.
Someone else did.
Yeah. I really did.
I held on out of hope.
Well, okay. It wasn't like I was.
And also Captain Jimenez, you.
I didn't think they would enough to go down the bookies and stick a $5 on it, but they did need a defensive reaction. Defensively, they can put bodies on the line and do what they need to do to get it over the line. And I thought Chris Hughton will be at them if you do nothing else today, keep a clean sheet. I thought that was going to be their mindset and mentality after conceding 7 in a week. And they did keep a clean sheet. Wolves are now what Wolves on the beach, same as us, same as everyone else.
No, I don't think so.
I don't think so either. I didn't think we were on the beach. And we've got a massive game this Saturday.
You got Hotter, haven't you?
I do. I have Hotter.
You're incredibly unlucky, mate.
Yeah, I mean,
he had one great effort that went just wide, and he hit the woodwork twice as well. Listen, this wasn't some brilliant defensive display from Brighton. They got away with it a little bit, as far as I can see from the game. I know our correspondent went up there and he was at FPLC, though he was delighted to get the point.
Yeah.
But I think they were a little fortunate. It's a great result for Brighton because it's given now that 3-point cushion over Cardiff, and they've got a better goal difference.
Yeah.
So to kind of feel a little bit more comfortable now. So you can't blame them. And obviously anything they get at Spurs tomorrow night would be a bonus. I mean, to be honest, if they get anything, probably safe. If they beat Newcastle at the weekend, they'll stay up.
Yeah.
That'll be the end of Cardiff.
Newcastle 3, Southampton 1. I'm conscious we've got quite a few games to get through still.
Right.
Newcastle 3, Southampton 1. Perez.
Yeah.
Perez.
Yeah. Do you know what? Just talk about them for a minute, because while you do, I kind of want to get Perez's numbers up.
They're decent. Newcastle, what's that? 5-6 home wins in a row or something stupid like that.
So I sat
Their
here.
home record is really good. I didn't expect this, to be honest. I thought Southampton would give them a bit more of a tough game, but Southampton did have their chances as well. But you've got to give credit to Newcastle. I was listening to 606 the other day. Someone phoned in to say that Benitez is a better manager than Pep because of the results he's got with the resources he's had. I'm not going that far. However,
we've had this discussion before. We're never going to find out what Guardiola would do at Newcastle, so there's no point.
But you got to give Rafa credit, and I think Newcastle have done all right.
Oh yeah, no, it's great for them to be safe again. They haven't spent no money with a coach like that. They shouldn't be in trouble. I think on Perez, Almiron, although I kind of said after the Arsenal game, whenever he gets the ball, he feels like he'll do something, but you also feel like he'll do nothing. I think he's let Perez off the leash a little bit. Like, I've got a formation now where those two can really go and attack with Rondon and playing that consistent back 5 with the 2 sitting midfield players. It really works for them at the moment. In the lead up to 31, I said about Perez, you'll blink and he'll have like 5 and 6.
Yeah.
It's 6 and 6.
He is one of these patchy kind of strikers.
It's 6 and 6, 7 and 9 in total.
Yeah. What's his ownership? It doesn't say on your. It's going to be low, though.
Yeah, it's 1.6%.
Wow. That's great returns for such a differential player.
Now, they've got left 2 away games, which you think, okay, might be something in there. So Brighton away this weekend, and they finish at Fulham. But then it's Liverpool at home is the 37 fixture. So, I don't know. Their away form, as I said last week, has been decent against sides in and around them in the table. So there could be some returns there. I guess he's one, if you've gone for, say, Gray over Deeney, for example, and you feel unhappy with it and you're happy with your Liverpool quota or can't move to it for whatever reason, then I guess he probably does come into consideration. 0.2 cheaper than Rondon. I think he's got 1 point less now.
You've got 3 Southampton. Are you sticking with them?
Probably to the end, yeah. So my biggest and hardest decision of the weekend was the final replacement for Knockout, and I went with Ward-Prowse in the end.
Yeah.
I've already got Redmond and Maya Yoshida. That's going to come back and haunt me, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm going to get Manchester like that.
I went with Ward-Prowse, not so much on the double, to be honest. It's the fixtures afterwards. So I like the fact they've got Bournemouth at home this weekend. I'm not bothered that they've got West Ham away in 37 and they finish with Huddersfield at home.
Right.
And Redmond's form of late, what I was looking for was a Wolves rotation, like I mentioned last week, like I've got with Yoshida and Bolly at the back. And I really considered sort of Neves, Moutinho and Dendoncker. I could have gone for any of them. And I went with Ward-Prowse in the end because I took the decision. I couldn't see me leaving Redmond out.
Yep.
For the West Ham away game, I thought, well, I'll go with that. Keep that clean sheets. So I'd be quite happy to go with that. So I was happy to get him in for this week and then potentially play all 3 of them. I mean, certainly game at 38, I think I'll probably play all 3 of them at home to Huddersfield. Possibly this weekend as well, which is very dependent on where I go from Liverpool replacements. Southampton really sloppy first half. Should have got sent off, by the way, Ward-Prowse.
Yeah.
It's a red card, in my opinion.
Not yellow.
No, it's a red card. Don't care. I don't care how far from goal it is. It's a clear goal scoring opportunity. There's going to be 2 players going through on goal against the goalkeeper.
Yeah.
And Almiron, all this, you can't take into account how quick someone is. I get that by the rules. You shouldn't consider that. But he is.
Yeah.
And you can see from the fact that he's got to the ball first and pushed it past him, that if he wasn't that quick, it wouldn't be probably been a foul. So you know that he is quick because you've just seen that in the same, what do they call it, phase of play. You know that he's getting on the end of the ball and he's running through and he can either finish it himself or he can roll on it. I think it was a red card.
I'm sitting on Ward-Prowse and Valerie at the moment. I'm going to be holding those 2 to the end.
Valerie,
of the season now.
I said to you on the way in, he came off the game before with cramp, was fine, travelled up to Newcastle and they sent him home because he was sick. Whether he makes Tuesday against Watford, probably doubtful. I'm not convinced actually that even Ward-Prowse ended the game basically in his position. Southampton started with a back 4, with back 5. Ward-Prowse played wing back. Ward-Prowse basically played right back second half. Still a massive threat because of his set piece delivery.
Yeah.
So I think if Valerie's back, there's every chance with Lamina back for Southampton as well now with obviously Romeo, Højbjerg, Ward-Prowse might not even play at Watford. Redmond was in and around everything that was good about them second half, I thought. Like him.
Good. Let's move on to the Sunday games. We've got 3 to get through because we still want to talk about the Champions League and VAR. Everton 4, United 0.
Wow. Man. Let's talk about Everton first because all anybody wants to talk about is United.
Yeah, I want to talk about United. I'm speechless though, so I don't know what to say. Everton, I mean, it's a real transformation in the last 2.5 months. I always liked Marco Silva at Hull. I thought he was right at Watford, so I did think that they should have kept faith with him, which they have, and they're doing well now. They've kept clean sheets at home against Arsenal, Liverpool, and United. And Chelsea.
If I'd have said to you going into that Liverpool game, because let's not forget, before that Liverpool game, form was bleak.
Yeah.
If I'd have said to you before that game, they'll take 10 points from those 4 home games and they won't see the goal, trust me, you'd have thought I was raving bonkers.
100%.
Nuts. They deserve absolute massive credit yesterday for alternating the way they played during the game. So it took United from the off. They had 6 corners in the first 15 minutes.
Yeah.
They went for them. And then once they were ahead at 2-0, they were able to adapt second half and play on a bit more of a counter-attack where people like Bernard really come into the game. Sigurdsson was outstanding. That's now 13 goals very quietly for him this season, which is more than Firmino, for example. And it's also the same amount as Richarlison. 26 goals between them this season.
Not a bad haul.
That's very good. I think that's...
But then, to be fair, Everton need it because how many of their strikers scored?
I think
Calvert-Lewin,
to put that into
and all the rest
comparison,
of it,
I think
nothing.
that's 6 less than Aubameyang and Lacazette together.
Okay.
And these two ain't centre forward. I know Richarlison's played a lot.
They play quite far forward, but yeah.
I really think, as I said last week, Calvert-Lewin has made a massive difference to that team because he gives them a target.
Mm-hmm.
Everton fans at Spirit Blues, FPL Prince, if you're listening, correct me if I'm wrong. But Everton supporters like the ball to go forward quickly. Doesn't mean just hoofing it up. I'm not talking 20 years ago, hoof it up to Duncan Ferguson, that kind of thing. But they like to see intensity in the game and like to see the ball played forward quickly. Now, it doesn't mean you can't retain the ball and play the ball around the back. But for Everton in a game like that, they want to see their team go up and at them. And that's exactly what they did from the off yesterday. And 4-0 was no fluke. That was a fair score.
Are you considering any Everton before the end of the season now?
I've said several times this season that, Jimenez is the biggest regret for me, for example. I think when the season's finished, we're all going to look back at Gylfi Sigurdsson and go, where were we?
Yeah.
Where he's like 6% owned and he's never really been more all season.
The other one that you have... I don't even know if you've owned him. I haven't owned him this season. You did, is Lucas Dean.
Lucas Dean, yeah.
You had him when he got sent off.
The problem with... no, I didn't, no. I haven't owned him.
Oh, you haven't owned him? Didn't think so. He's another one that sits in that... Should have owned him at some point this season. I mean, at 4.9 he got down to. He's surely going to be next season one of the first names on the team sheet.
Richarlison, I've had for long periods. That's going to go, mate. The sound control system is about to fall. Fortunately, Sid has got longer legs than me. I've owned Richarlison for long periods, and I came off him at a point where everybody was like, "You need to get rid."
Yeah.
In hindsight, the players like him and Sigurdsson in that price bracket, when we know the quality that they can have, we need to be more patient with these players. Sigurdsson falls into a lower bracket of, we say like Ericsson all the time, don't we? Consistency of points throughout the season. Don't hop on and hop off because they'll come at any time. I know plenty of people I've seen who've taken hits to come off Sigurdsson this week.
It's why...
And it's understandable.
It's why people that set their team up at the start of the season, like Manchild, and go with tried and trusted, end up doing all right at the end of the season. That's why less moves sometimes work out better.
Yeah, sometimes. Sigurdsson's one who I think he has to now FPL consistency fall into that bracket of someone, if you're going to have, he sits there.
100%. I'd rather have. Would you rather have Sigurdsson over Bernardo Silva?
I think he's now the 6th highest scoring midfielder this season, and yet remarkably 0.2 cheaper than the price he started at, 7.5. I think he was 8.5 last season after the amazing second half of the season he had in the last year at Swansea. He's now only 10 points off that total.
You would you'd take him over like Bernardo Silva, for example, when you think?
Yeah, if it have to. I mean, what's Bernardo Silva? 6 goals this season?
No, compared to Gylfi, nothing.
That's 26 goals between Sigurdsson and Richarlison is not a joke.
No,
that's serious returns for you. You couldn't ask for more than that in that sort of price bracket of the budget between the two of them.
Yeah,
if Sigurdsson's the same price next season, he'll be in my team blind. I'll just go with it. Yeah. Richarlison will get a rise
as well. If Dean's 5 million again, I think he's worth consideration.
Calvert-Lewin, as I said, I think has made a massive difference because he gives him that target. He's decent in the air for his size and he's a willing runner. He's not slow. He can get in behind. Just needs to add the goals to the game. I've looked at Everton. They played Burnley in 37. It feels like all the players we've got have a really good 36 and 38. And if you're looking for someone to go for in 37, there aren't obvious ones. Everton played Burnley on the Friday night. And will they play like they have done in the last few home games against Burnley, like they have in some of these big games? It's a completely different prospect, isn't it?
Yeah.
But actually, Everton look like someone they can go for in 37. And if I end up not going with Firmino this weekend, which this will make more sense when I do Liverpool, I may go Gray to Calvert-Lewin on 37, I think.
What's your thoughts on Manchester United? This is, like I said, I'm kind of speechless. I don't really know where to start. They played a full-strength side, or as full as full could be. We can't just look at this fixture in isolation with Manchester United. We have to look at the last 6 to 8 fixtures where they've been dropping points out of the Champions League, got taught a lesson by Barcelona, and it doesn't feel like a very happy place anymore all of a sudden. The interesting thing is, though, that the blame will be on the players, not on Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. And in my opinion, so it should be. But you kind of, you know what they're capable of. We've all had Pogba and Rashford for a massive chunk of this season. Rashford, for me, is still getting in the right areas and taking shots and could easily score a hat-trick at any moment. But doesn't quite fill you with enjoyment, excitement, or confidence owning Manchester United players at the moment. Where do they go from here? I mean, it's a tough game against City midweek. Derbies are derbies. I don't think you can look at form as much as you would if it was another fixture. But where do you go from here with United? Okay. 3 games left this season.
So
4, sorry, for them.
The thing is, the best thing I did this season was gamble on them on that wild card and go Martial, Pogba, Rashford. It was the best thing I did in my FPL season. I also didn't come off Pogba soon enough, for example. If you look at the team that played yesterday, it's average. So the goalkeeper has had a bad season. He hasn't overnight become a bad goalkeeper, but for whatever reason, there are certain things that he's not saving that normally he would save with his eyes closed, like Sigurdsson's goal yesterday. I don't believe for a second anyone tells me he shouldn't be saying that. He's got a clear sight. But
yeah, I mean, he's also made a lot of game-changing saves as well.
This time last year, he was in everybody's team, wasn't he? Dave says was about 40% ownership. Interested to see what price he is next year. Defensively, Jones and Smalling at centre half. I mean, it's not too. Neither of them were getting in the team.
Yeah,
and playing centre half for Man United. Dalot gets a pass, especially playing out of position at left back because he's really a right-sided player. He's young and improved. Lindelof has been their one decent centre half the last 3-4 months. Plays at right back, so the manager's got to take some responsibility for that. He's played his best centre half out of position. Matic on the second goal is also a joke, where he just strolls and lets Sigurdsson come in on his right foot and hit it. Now he's probably thinking, yeah, go on then, but get close to him, do something. He was one who was completely anonymous yesterday. Pogba, I know everybody wants to pick into, is he a mercenary, all that kind of thing. There was a stage at 2-0 where he was very much, give me the ball. He went and basically dragged it off Smalling at one point and put Rashford through with a 60-yard ball. And he's always capable of that. With Pogba, yeah, he's an enigma. You've got to get the best out of him.
Yeah.
Fred, that was 50 million well spent. Nothing needs to be said there.
No.
Rashford, I thought was an insult yesterday in terms of the way he played. He played with someone, in my eyes, who's got the real hump that he's playing back out wide and not through the middle, which is accommodating the bouncy castle that is Romelu Lukaku, who United will be better off getting shot of and going with Rashford as their man. And Anthony Martial has never smiled a day in his living life. And in games like that, he offers nothing. He came alive at 4-0. Well, you've been all fucking game, mate.
Yeah.
I don't know. So there were so many problems with that team at the moment. And that's your starting 11 from yesterday, mate.
Yeah. No one's getting in on any Manchester United players between now and the end of the season, really.
I disagree. Because the last 2 are so tempting.
I want to see how they play against City. It's a derby game. Even if they get a draw out of it, it's one of those that can snap you out of a rut. And they're still there. I still own Rashford. I've got no intention of selling Marcus Rashford between now and the end of the season. I've just got no intention of buying any other Manchester United players between now and the end of the season.
But if you want someone from those last 2 weeks, you can't ignore the fact that it's Huddersfield away and Cardiff at home might be relegated.
Yeah, true. Look, for me now, my transfer this week is Liverpool because of the fixture, followed by I'm only going to be bringing in players from teams that have got something to play for. I'm not going to be looking at any players from any teams that have nothing to play for. There's only 2 weeks left, right? And that can be either Liverpool or City. Well, I'll own 3 Liverpool, so I could maybe bring in one more City, or top 4. But United, if they lose the next couple, will be not even with a sniff of the top 4. So then it's down to Tottenham, Arsenal. I think it's Tottenham and Arsenal really are going to get the top 4, or down at the bottom, Cardiff.
United's best form this season was when the freedom got lifted from them, and they had nothing to play for. Because let's be honest, when Solskjaer come in, I think they were about 12 points behind Spurs, for example. No one was considering them for top 4.
Sure.
And they put themselves by consistently winning, and it was a great run of fixtures of games that they should be winning, other than sort of Spurs away and the Arsenal and PSG away cup games. All the league games that they won, you look at and go, yeah, should
have won them.
But you still got to go and do it, and they were playing with freedom at that point. So maybe they will again if it's gone for them. I mean, they'll probably have to win all 4 games left to finish top 4, I would have thought.
Even if they win all 4 games, they probably won't finish top 4.
They win all 4, they'll make it.
You think so?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I don't think they will.
I can't see them beating City.
No.
And at the moment, I wouldn't see them beating Chelsea either.
Yeah. Should we move on to Arsenal Palace, because we've still got a couple of games to get through, and I know you want to talk about Champions League. Any team that allows Benteke a free header and to score deserves what they get. That's all I have to say.
That's 4 points for Crystal Palace in South London derbies this season now. It's great.
Oh, nice. I like that little low blow. That was pretty good. 3
I
goals
get
away at
that
City.
every time they play Palace.
Three goals away at City. 3 goals away at Arsenal. Zaha on the score sheet.
3 goals
again.
at Anfield they scored as well.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
I mean,
they've scored, I think
they've done so much better away from home.
I think it's about 15 more goals away from home than at home now, Palace, which is astonishing.
If you'd have started at the start of this double game week, most people were saying that of the top 6 sides, Arsenal had better double game week fixtures on paper. On paper,
we were speaking about that in the car. I didn't agree with that, to be honest.
Which of the top 6 has a better?
The reason I stayed off Arsenal was the Thursday, Sunday, Wednesday problem of knowing that they'd have to rotate. And as soon as I saw Aubameyang and Lacazette both played in Naples, that was it for me. I wasn't going near them.
Yeah, I stayed off them because of rotation and not knowing
what
Arsenal was going to turn up.
I didn't watch the game, but apparently they played really well in Napoli and deserve credit for that.
Yeah.
Now they've obviously got a tough tie again against Valencia in the semi-finals, and it causes more problems for FPL again. I'm not
looking at Arsenal at all. Between now and the end of the season, they do have the best fixtures, but they've really got to go for Europa now. I still think Arsenal will finish top 4, but I don't have the money for Aubameyang.
I think they probably still will as well. I think this week's massive for Arsenal. If Arsenal take 4 points from these 2 games, Wolves away, Leicester away, which they're more than capable of, they'll finish top 4. If they take 6 points, they'll definitely finish top 4. They wouldn't see them slipping up Brighton at home and Burnley away at the end. But these 2, Wolves, Leicester away, they smack you with that feeling that what Arsenal could and could not do, don't they?
Yeah.
They look like you wouldn't be surprised if we're sitting here next Monday morning and Arsenal lost both them.
Yeah. I was about to say the same thing.
Socrates being back will be a massive boost.
Yeah, he's their best defender by a long stretch.
I mean, if you've been on Twitter in the last 24 hours and gone near anything Arsenal related on Twitter, you will have seen Mustafi has got the worst of this.
Yeah, he's getting a lot of stick at the moment.
Manager has had some questions asked of him because
keeps playing him.
Yeah, he said Emery. He said after the game, he said Mustafi's consistent. What, consistently shit, mate?
He hasn't been good all season. So.
No, they've had enough of him now. They missed Socrates badly, but the team selection was a little too much yesterday. So, I mean, behind the front 3 of Ozil, behind Aubameyang and Lacazette, that 8 that's mid-table standard.
Yeah.
Like a lot of those players would not get into Leicester and Wolves teams. Cole Jenkinson, what is he still doing now? Mavropanos might be a good player potentially. Koscielny had some shocking moments on the second goal where Mustafi obviously tries to shield it to Zahara. It's a complete dickhead about it. Koscielny shouldn't even go for the header. Koscielny doesn't go for the header and lets El Neni stand in front of Benteke, then that goal can't happen. Koscielny goes for a header, he's never going to win, and that's not been mentioned.
I think the reason I think Arsenal will be all right, like you said, that they wouldn't get into a lot of mid-table teams. There was a moment in the West Ham Leicester game. So Perez had already come on for an Arnautovic up front, running around, doing what Perez does. And last 10 minutes or whatever, Jack Wilshere comes off the bench.
Oh, is he alive?
I was like, what am I watching the Arsenal fucking rejects here now, being Perez and Wilshere? So all of these players, don't worry, Gooners, we'll buy them off you and just field a reserve team that's your current reserve team.
Are you suggesting
that's what we do?
Cole Jenkinson might be a West Ham player?
Well,
El Neni looks like a West Ham player to me.
Yeah,
that's right up your street, mate.
How much time does he spend on the treatment table? Because if they don't spend at least 50% of their time on the treatment table, we don't buy them.
Yeah, Jenkinson and El Neni are right for you, mate.
Yeah, good. Our physios and our club doctors don't have enough work to do. So any injury-prone players, welcome. Let's wrap up on Liverpool. Business as usual. My question for you on Liverpool is, so you've got the obvious Salah, Mane, Firmino. People will have one of Robertson or Trent. Those are the five that everyone's going to go for. If you haven't got the money, I mean, Milner, Wijnaldum, Henderson, would you take one of them? We talked about Henderson last
week a little bit, didn't we?
Yeah, I think Milner potentially keeps playing, keeps getting assists and
goals. His
recent record is decent.
My answer to people who haven't got the money is find the money.
Okay. Or one of the big five.
Yeah.
And really the big three attacking.
Look, do I think Liverpool will get a cricket score on Friday? No, I don't. Because I think once the game's well and comfortably won, they'll be thinking about Barcelona. Now, importantly, I said this last week, the first leg is the Wednesday, it's not the Tuesday. So they've got 5 days now from yesterday till Friday night, and they've got another 5 days till Barcelona. There is no doubt in my mind that the Mane... So I think they'll all play. Yes, there's a risk if they're, 4-0 up after an hour, that's all you're getting. But if they're 4-0 up after an hour, you've probably got the points. Mm-hmm. I would expect the game Friday night to probably be 3-4-0. I don't think it's going to be ridiculously silly. But I think you've got to have a combination of those forwards. And for those of us who've still got the triple captain left, I can't see any other option other than to use it for this.
Agreed. You're going to end up with what? Firmino, Mane and Robertson?
So the plan was, after the transfers I made, I left 4.4 million in the bank, which was a fraction more than what I needed to move from Christian Eriksen to Mane and then Andre Gray up to Firmino. Now, Kevin De Bruyne's injury has thrown that. It also means now that I can go from De Bruyne and Eriksen to Mane and Salah. And those are the big decisions that I need to make. It will come down to essentially, do I want Mane, Firmino, Eriksen or Mane, Salah, Ward, Prowse? Is essentially where I'm going to be. It's those Firmino numbers against the weaker teams that really concerns me. The greatest concern I'd have going Mane and Salah is which one do I triple captain?
Yeah.
I think if I get both, I would probably go for Salah. But I've known for weeks that I was going to stick it on Mane. So there's plenty to ponder in the next few weeks. And if you really are stuffed for the budget and you can't get an attacking one, like do throw Alexander-Arnold in. Or even throw Matip in. Mm-hmm. Just stick him in at 4.9 or something, is he? He's playing every week at the moment. Yeah. He's going to get a goal. It's most likely to be in a game like this.
Yeah.
So, no, the reason we've kind of gone into the detail on the other teams is on the basis that a lot of you will have 3 Liverpool players, or if obviously you need to go to budgets to then afford that third Liverpool player, for example. It has to be done, I believe.
Mine's fairly straightforward. Hazard to Mane. Also leaves me a little in the bank to figure out what I'm going to do, 37, 38. And
you'd then just have two, would you?
No, I've got Firmino and Robertson.
Oh, right. So
I'm already sitting on them. Yeah. No problem. I may not do that. I may go with Trent Alexander-Arnold, thinking long term, and then Hazard downgrade to Gylfi and 37, which gives me money to get Aguero. I really want Aguero for the last couple of game weeks of the season. I feel like he's just going to kill it.
The only thing I'd say on Trent, unlike the front three, I think if there's anyone who might miss out this weekend, it might be him. And the reason I think that is because Joe Gomez is fit. And, I think... I think that it's not so much that. If Trent was to get injured, they'll need Gomez. So to give him some minutes and time would kind of make sense. And I guess probably to go back to Matip a little bit as well, it possibly does make Matip and Alexander-Arnold a little risky. Robertson obviously missed the first leg of the Champions League game, so I feel safe about that. Van Dijk will never get left out. No chance, mate. And I don't see why the front three would be. I mean, Mane and Salah are possibly going to be in their own competition for Golden Boot after this weekend. And possibly during the game.
Yeah. So let's talk about the Champions League game, because we've been talking for an hour and people don't want to listen all day. They want to go and eat Easter eggs or go to the mass was yesterday, wasn't it?
I just want to go home.
Their Easter.
I just want to go home and have my son piss on me again.
Yeah, I just want to go home and watch Game of Thrones. You were there at the Champions League game, and I know you wanted to talk about VAR. You put a load of tweets out about VAR. Your opinion is no VAR.
So
you don't like it?
No, I'm not a fan. I know everyone was going, you must love VAR now, James. Listen, obviously Wednesday night, I'm walking out the ground singing VAR, my lord. But no, I'm really concerned about the way it's going to go for the game. Firstly, thanks to everyone who sent us nice messages and stuff Wednesday night. It took me all fucking night to respond and like and shit. It was really appreciated. And I was pissed as well by after 12, 1 o'clock. The game was a game like I've probably never been to, and for a lot of people have never seen a game like that before. To go 1-0 down after 2-3 minutes, you think the first thing that goes to my mind is, why have I fucking bothered?
Yeah.
We're getting absolutely fucked. And then to be in a position where we nicked the away goal, and it was kind of surreal because from our angle, I was quite high at the other end from Son's goals. It hit the net, and it was like, it was a shock. I couldn't process in my brain that it had happened. And then 2 minutes later, we scored again.
Yeah.
And the amount of bruises I got from that goal on my fucking shins from hammering the seat in front of me and nearly booting the geezer in front of me in the head, it was quite steep. Anybody who's been in that top tier at City will tell you it's steep. We went fucking mental. And at that point, at 2-1, you think, we've got them. Like, we've actually got them 3-1 up, 2 away goals. Take it easy now, Spurs. Sit behind the ball. A minute later, Bernardo scores.
Yeah.
And suddenly you're in a position going exactly where we started. They need 2 goals. They still need 2 goals. Oh, fuck. 10 minutes gone, they've already got 2 goals. Yeah. What's the big deal? From 10 minutes later, Sterling scores again. It's 3-2. And you think, we're fucked. Sissoko goes off injured. We're hanging on bare bones. And it felt like when it went 4-2 and Aguero scored, in my memory, that was a lot later in the game. I think that was still like half hour to go. And at the time, they were so on top because they are such a good team, like seriously. And it just became a case of staying in the game, especially with old Toilet on up front. And Toilet with his dodgy hip or hand,
elbow,
scored. So this is kind of now where it comes to VAR.
Yeah.
So
although VAR played its part in the first leg.
I spoke after the first leg and said when Son scored in the first leg, I shouted goal, but I didn't really celebrate because I thought I didn't think there was an offside problem, but I thought the ball might have gone out of play. And I'm watching for the referee. And the referee, to be fair, in the first leg was like this. Sorry, the YouTube will see that, or podcast, with the finger to the ear.
Yeah.
So when Llorente scored, I had no idea how it had gone in. I just knew something wasn't right.
Yeah.
But there were reactions of the City players, like Ederson in the goal. He didn't appeal or anything. So I thought it was all right. So we all go mental, obviously. And then 30 seconds later, VAR check. And then once he goes to the side of the pitch, you think this is getting disallowed. Because they've obviously said you need to come and look at this.
Have a look.
Now, he got showed the wrong angle, which is clear. There is clearly an angle where it flicks his
elbow,
forearm, can we say, and then hits his
elbow, hip,
and goes in. But his arm, he was tucked into his body. It wasn't like he had his elbow out. So like Cole Walker's at the weekend. I don't think that was a penalty. I think it was accidental. But his arm, in that case, his arm was out from his body.
Yeah.
This one, Llorente, was in his body. So I don't know what he can really do. And I think that's so borderline. That's going to be such a subjective decision. What's really important with VAR, when it's subjective like that, the original decision is to stand. Because your opinion and my opinion on that might be completely different.
Yeah.
I think if a ball goes into a net and a hand or an arm has played a part, it probably shouldn't stand.
That's the rule next season. They've changed it now, right?
Correct.
So next season, that goal
wouldn't stand. But by law now, it probably should.
By law now, it's an opinion thing.
Yes.
So, yeah, I think that's what happens in cricket, right? If in doubt, whatever the original decision was, stands. Simple as that.
I can't have all this bollocks where shit's getting over. Take Salah yesterday, right? Now, I know he's gone down really fucking easy, but he's getting held to fuck.
Yeah.
I mean, really, that should be a penalty. He shouldn't need to go down. Where I do have a little bit of sympathy for Salah, and he's a diver. Like I've got divers like Dele Alli, etc., and Son is known to cheat. Where I've got sympathy with Salah there is if he doesn't go down, he'll never get the decision.
True.
He'll never get it. He's got to go down.
I didn't have an issue with Llorente's goal. It was more Raheem's Aguero being offside. Because when I was watching it, I was like, okay. So 5-3. I didn't catch the offside watching it on telly, and you just assume, well, City on there. This is what they do. It was quite a delay from the goal to the ref saying, right, now I'm going to VAR. You want it to be within like 20, 30 seconds. This felt like a lot longer before, actually, you know what? Now I'm going to VAR.
So I just got to the stage where it got to about, we threw Sanchez on at the bat and they were throwing company up front. And I thought, we've got him here. We were okay. I literally just got to the point in injury time. I was like, we're going to hang on. They started resorting to un-City things like trying to play diagonals into the box and stuff. And then obviously it happened. And from the other end, like yourself, offside never went through my head. It was just, it's a goal. And they've won and they've done it. And in that moment, I couldn't stand there and say City don't deserve this or anything like that because they were brilliant. I remember standing there with my hands on my head and thinking, take your hands off your fucking head. Don't be that prick who ends up on the telly.
Yeah. So I was watching telly looking for you. So, you
wanker.
Now I always
so
watch
I took my hands off my head and I stood there and then I heard this noise, which was like a crash. It was basically my dad standing next to me on the right. Just sitting, because you all stand up away from him, don't you?
Yeah.
It was the crash and just landed in the seat. Like, fuck, we're done. And it was gut-wrenching and horrible. And you look up and Guardiola and they're all running down the touchline and stuff. And they have every right to go mental in that moment. And then suddenly Guardiola got from going halfway down the touchline with his staff to getting back to the technical area. There was nothing. I to be honest, I wasn't looking for the referee to see if he was listening. Or
it took a while.
But yeah. But then it came up on the screen, VAR check. And I thought that's the only thing it could be. And if you go back and you watch it on the telly, before the referee makes the decision to say offside, puts his arm up, you can hear the roar in the ground and it's us. Because it literally come up, VAR check, and it was about 2 seconds later, offside, no goal.
Yeah. So we from VAR check to the offside decision,
before
it was fine.
Before you knew on the telly. Which is, for a change, this was something right for the fans, but that takes way too long. They have to implement
from him going to VAR to the offside decision. That was quick. It was more from the goal to him deciding to go to VAR was the issue.
It won't be the ref on and offside. It won't be the referee's choice.
Right. Okay.
He'll just get told in his ear it's offside. Disallow the goal.
Right. Okay.
they need to implement something where that's going to be instant. I think eventually in 10, 15 years, we'll get to that point. Where
I think within half a season,
something will be controlled by technology.
I think within half a season. Do you know what? I'm running the marathon next week, right? They're giving me a little chip to put in my boot, and that's going to track me every time. Why don't you just put chips in all the players' boots or something? That technology will be there.
People
what will happen first in the next 3-6 months? By Christmas with VAR, we're going to be used to this. And every time there's a goal, we're going to score, we're going to check ourselves, and then we're going to celebrate. We're just going to get used to goal, check, celebrate.
That is my biggest thing.
So
if you're a City fan, and let's be honest, City fans had the Aguero goal against QPR in 2012, the most mental goal celebration that anybody's probably ever had. And good luck to them. That on Wednesday night last week would have been probably second closest to that, near enough.
Yeah.
And you're going to lose your shit. You absolutely should. There's in that moment as a football fan, it's all right if people say, "Oh, it's the right decision." I get that, and truth has won out where it wouldn't normally. But if you want to take away the idea that for a football fan in that moment he can't lose his fucking shit, we're going to lose the game that we love. And the best thing about the Premier League is generally is the speed of the game and the quality of the atmospheres. If you take that away, we've got a big problem.
You would take VAR in Champions League semi versus no VAR and being knocked out.
Well, of course I would.
Sure. Okay, so we need to get to that point. It's a work in progress. Look, the thing is, on Saturday, I sit directly above the penalty box line on the end where Perez scored. Perez broke through, and I thought he was offside. And then he was flagged before he put the ball in the net, to be honest with you. The guy sitting behind me, Carpet, he was like, I don't think that was offside. I thought he was onside. And I wanted to turn around and be like, to be honest, mate, I thought it was a good metre and a half off, which I did. But I didn't say it.
You can understand why the linesman give flag.
Yeah,
right?
I have to be honest and say I thought he was off. I was like, oh, well, he was off. It was only afterwards that I realised, oh, he wasn't. Oh, and I'm so glad I didn't turn around to him and be like, nah, mate, trust me, he was off. Because I was 100% confident. If you'd have said to me, was he off? I'd say, yeah, he was off. And not by a little bit, by a metre and a half. So in that instance, I'm like, VAR could have saved us. I think we need it, but I get your point. I just think we're going to adapt to the way we celebrate goals.
Take the West Ham disallowed goal at the weekend. So where he's gone through and he's walked around the goalie, and you're right, the linesman had his flag up probably by the time he walked around the goalie.
Yeah.
Quite comfortably.
Yeah.
So the whole ground generally knew it was no goal.
Most people.
And now anybody who's been to football regularly will know in those sort of circumstances, you're trained to look for the linesman.
Yeah.
So like, you don't want to be the one, same as like me with my hands in my head. You don't want to get caught being the only dickhead celebrating like a prick, right? Yeah. And we've all had that moment at one point or another. Yeah, exactly, right? Explain to me, and this is where I've got a massive problem with this. That same incident happens on the halfway line next season.
Yeah.
So what they're going to do is they're going to let the game play out.
Yeah.
Is the idea. So if the linesman thinks it's a close call, and this is a perfect scenario, that West Ham Leicester one at the weekend. If it's a close call, he's going to let it play out. So Perez runs the final 45 yards to goal, walks around the goalie, puts it in. Then the linesman puts his flag up. That's my understanding.
Okay.
So at that point, so when he's by the time he's got to the penalty area, you're trained to know the linesman sticking his flag. We ain't sticking the flag up. You know you're all right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, they're still fucked, right? You're still taking the emotion out of it completely.
It might be a case of where we see advantage played a bit more, and that's beneficial.
They're going to have to let things go, because the opposite way round is worse. So say that decision where Perez has been given offside, and he scores, and next season he cannot put the flag up.
Yeah. Because
what if Perez sees it and then stops? You're going to get a lot of people get away with kicking the ball away next year.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, well, no flag, I'm going to play on. I'll play to the whistle or whatever. Or people being offside, say the flag goes up. So say someone's a yard or two offside and the flag goes up, and he's like, well, I'm going to play on and I'm going to try and score because VAR might review it and I might have been onside.
Yeah.
Right? There are things that massively need ironing out, and the biggest problem is offside. We need something that's going to be controlled and going to be instant. And I think technology-wise, it can be done. They need to find a way.
There we go.
He needs a referee sitting in a truck who's got two lines that constantly cross, I think. And that's literally his sole job. He's to look at that and then go to the linesman, put your flag up. Because people in the crowd still need the visual of the flag, I think.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you. I mean, we've seen two examples of it there.
And for FPL, we're all starting next season with Milivojevic.
Yeah.
Pogba.
Basically, I'm going to have a team of 11 penalty takers in my side.
There's a lot.
Try and find them.
There's going to be a lot thinking towards this. I think.
Let's wait and see.
Yeah, we don't really know how that's gonna work next year. I think it is a fair assumption to suggest that there probably will be more penalties.
Cool. Look, we've chatted away, and it's time to go and enjoy our Bank Holiday Monday. Easter eggs, sunshine, and whatever else it may be. A couple of public service announcements before we go. Firstly, it's only 6 days until the London Marathon, mate. This time next Sunday, so there's only one more episode in between me and the marathon. I'm really looking forward to chilling out on the Saturday with the Spurs game and then running on the Sunday. If you haven't been able to sponsor me and you would like to, I know the Haven House had a couple of problems with their website. We're going to tweet the link again today and we'll tweet it again on Thursday. If you do support Haven House, the charity that I'm running for the London Marathon, it's an amazing children's hospice based here in North London that help children who are either terminally ill or have life-limiting conditions. You'll also be able to enter our Haven House Marathon Appeal cash prize mini league. 4 game weeks. One's already gone, so you'll miss game week 36. So you'll get 36, 37, and 38. £10 per week for the winner. It doesn't matter how much you donate into the charity appeal. It could be £1, could be £2, whatever. Could be 20, could be 50. Yeah.
Could be £41.80.
And 80p. So yeah, it doesn't matter how much. And the winner of the 4-week mini league will win £25, which is all coming out of my pocket, but it's all helping towards a good cause. So yeah, 6 days until the marathon. Get yourself sponsoring if you can. Secondly, 18th of May, 2019, and the most important
live.
Planet FPL Live. We started tweeting out pre-registration for Planet FPL Live. Ticket sales are going to go on sale in the next 48 hours. Just need to get Eventbrite set up and a couple of final bits and pieces. So on the 18th of May, which is FA Cup final day, we're going to have a end of season live show in Holborn, central London, at the Editor's Tap. It's going to be a 2-hour show from 2 till 4 with Q&A, some special guest appearances, and followed by the FA Cup final at 5, where we'll be having an FPL kind of meet up and drinks, etc., etc. So we'd love to have as many of you down for Planet FPL Live. It's going to be a really good afternoon. Once we tweet out links to get registering, pick up your tickets, that would be really good. There's going to be a small charge, like give or take £5 for tickets, mainly because we just need to make sure that we get the right number of people.
We need to control the legions.
We've only got capacity for a max of 100 people, but you will get a drink on arrival, a bottle of beer or whatever with that ticket of £5 or what have you. So it's not lining our pockets anyway. But yeah, that would be really good. FA Cup final day, nothing else to do. Come and join us in central London. It's going to be a really, really good FPL community meetup.
Yeah, I'm so excited for that.
Yeah.
I'm trying not to think about it too much. Just shit yourself standing in front of people as well.
It'll be fun. It'll be fun. We'll be set up really well.
It will be good crowd. It'll be very relaxed. It's going to be the end of the season. We'll bring our flavour of knowledge and lack of knowledge and bullshit and shit.
And bring it there.
Yeah, and we'll get people involved and we'll try and make it a little interactive and stuff. It will be a good day, and look, it will be a good time to unwind, finish the season, and meet fellow FPL players as well. Because when we had the meet up with the cheaters and stuff, like the meeting people is brilliant.
Best
and
part
it'd be great to meet more of you guys.
Yeah. So do look out on Twitter at Planet FPL Pod, James's Twitter feed. And look out for the link to get pre-registering, because anybody that's pre-registered will get first notification when tickets go live. So yeah, that would be great.
There's one more small announcement.
Go for it.
The FBA Awards.
Yeah, I think voting's finished.
Voting is finished.
Yes.
I think the awards are Wednesday.
This week?
Next week? No, it's this week.
Okay.
Thank you for everyone who spoiled their vote and voted for us. It's much appreciated. I took the decision knowing that I couldn't have more than one good result at the Etihad Stadium, where it's been hosted in a week, as I found out on Saturday. So I'll take my win from last Wednesday and I'll run. We won't be in attendance, but we do wish everyone best of luck. I really feel like it's next week. No, it's this week. Okay, fair play. It's definitely this week. Well, then I'm definitely not travelling up because I'm resting my legs. City couldn't host the event next week because they're preparing for their Champions League semi-final. Is that a low blow that you're trying to get in there? It is a possibility, right? There we go. Guys, thanks for listening. Do be patient with the audio and the video on this episode because we didn't have any technical help at all. James and I are left to our own devices. So I hope the audio's come out good and clear. And if it hasn't, then tweet at Manchild and tell him not to have bank holidays off in the future. Are we recording Thursday? We are. You said you're not around. I'm not around. I got day off, but I'm around. We'll figure it out. Yeah. I'm here. I'm in London. We'll be recording on Thursday with a little preview to game week 36. In the meantime, just kick back, relax, enjoy the Chelsea game tonight, the rest of the double game week fixtures, and good luck with everything. Ciao for now. Cue music, Such. That's it. And we don't have an outro on this because we're going to end the live stream. We'll read all of the comments on the live chat on YouTube as we will. But thank you guys for tuning in. If you have been listening, really appreciate it. Maybe we'll do more live streaming in the future. Maybe. See you guys later. Ciao. End stream.